What's going on, guys? It's your boy DJ KC 2102 coming at you again with another video. So this one's a little bit different. It's not like an update or a leak. This one is just me ranking all of the mythic weapons in the game so far that have been in Fortnite. If I am missing any, then go ahead and leave me down below some that have already come out. We know that there are more to come, but this is what I was able to get so far. Some from Chapter 1 and mostly them from Chapter 2. So the first one, this one is definitely OP, the Infinity Blade. This one was a hot drop in Season 1. A lot of people got killed off spawn, rage quitting. This one was amazing, so definitely I'm pretty sure everyone will agree this one definitely goes in the S tier. So the kit's shockwave launcher, definitely a great mobility and troll item. A lot of people on YouTube have made montages of keeping people in the storm with the shockwave launcher, so it's definitely a great mythic weapon, and I'm glad that they did introduce this into the game. Goes into S tier. The Batman grapple gun. A lot of people do forget about this when they talk about the mythic items. So it's not exactly a weapon, but it is basically the same thing as the Julius glider gun. You can shoot it from a far distance. It'll zip you really fast, but then when you pull out your glider, with the Batman, you get the Bat Cape, right? With the Julius glider gun, you just redeploy your glider. But you do glide really slow once you're coming down, so it does leave you open to anybody who has immaculate aim in the in the game. So if somebody can beam you out the sky, they definitely will, because you're gliding really slow. So with that being said, I'm gonna put it in the B tier, and because it's basically the same thing as the Julius glider gun, we're gonna throw that in the B tier as well. Sky's assault rifle, the next one. So this one, definitely a monster in the game. It was highly sought after. I don't know anybody who would not choose to pick it up unless they were doing like some type of challenge or something, but they would always go for the Sky's assault rifle. It did a ton of damage, fire rate was super fast, and you could just destroy people's builds. So that one definitely goes into the S tier. I know now that I'm looking at this, I know I'm missing the Chug Jug. The Chug Jug was really good. I think I would put the Chug in B or A, maybe A. Definitely missed the Chug Jug in the game, but it was something that took 15 seconds. It wasn't practical for use all the time, so I will put it in A tier just because you can go from 1 HP all the way to 200. So I put it in A tier, but it did take 15 seconds to get done. So the next one, Ocean's assault rifle. I'm gonna put that also in A tier. It did do pretty good damage. The aim on it, the bloom was really low, so you were able to really hit your shots if you lined it up, and if you put your crosshair on somebody, you were able to pretty much hit them and do quite a bit of damage. So as long as your aim was good, you were doing pretty good. Sky's grappler. Now, before we had Julius glider gun, Sky's grappler was great for mobility, right? But when Julius glider gun came out and we saw the massive distance that you could cover with the glider gun, how far you could shoot it, it just pretty much throws this grappler down in the tier, to me, in my opinion, right? So you can take fall damage with Sky's grappler, right? If you shoot too high and you grapple up too high, you will take fall damage. With the Julius glider gun, you don't, because you redeploy your glider. However, you're just gliding really slow. So there's some trade-offs there. Now, Groots' minigun, definitely S tier. If you know how to use the minigun and you can time the ramp up from when you pull it out to when it actually starts shooting bullets, if you can time that right, you are able to pretty much wreck a lot of people and maneuver around the cooldown, because the cooldown was much shorter than a legendary minigun back in Chapter 2 Season 3. Chapter 2 Season 2. So it was really dope. I do miss it. I do miss it in the game. I hope that the Shadow and the other guys come back in and sometime later in the future. But we'll see. Minus's drum gun. Definitely OP. Definitely OP. I have to put it in S tier. If somebody had the drum gun, the Minus's drum gun, you were pretty much wrecked. It was almost as good as Sky's assault rifle, but with a little bit more bloom, so not from a good distance. But if you had both Sky's assault rifle, you had long range and you had short range with the Minus's drum gun. So it was really, really OP. A lot of people got killed with that. The next one is TNT's bow, Tina's bow. It was good. Definitely reminiscent of the old boom bow, but it was less powerful. I'm actually gonna put it down here in the C tier. It didn't do as much damage as the old boom bow. It just really wasn't as good. It was cool to see it back in the game. There was a lot of memes with it, people shooting out helicopters and squads. It was really, really dope, but I have to put it down in the tiers. So moving on to Kit's charged shotgun. Like I said, Caddy Corner was a hot drop last season. It was really, really packed. Kit's charged shotgun did a whole bunch of damage. You can't just run up on Kit and expect to just get it easily from him, because he will shoot you with the shockwave launcher away, or he'll just one pump you in the face. So I will say that Kit's charged shotgun, if used correctly, was definitely S tier. If you are not a fan of the charged shotgun or how the mechanics work in using it, then you probably wouldn't rate it an S. But I say if the people who know how to use it used it right, they would rate it as an S tier. So definitely that one gets critically acclaimed. So Julius's drum gun. So I've seen a lot of people, including myself, opt to not even hold this weapon in lieu of something like a rapid fire SMG, right? I would personally rather have 2 rapid fire legendary rapid fire SMGs in my loadout, maybe even 1, than to have the Julius's drum gun. It just did not do enough damage. Epic tried to lower the damage because the previous Midas drum gun was just really OP. So they did too much though. They dropped it too much. I know that they wanted to make it different, but if they wanted to make it different, they should have just introduced a different weapon, just to introduce a different gun. I know there's theories that Jules is Midas's son or sister or something like that, but they didn't have to make the same weapon. They could have made something different, just like they did with the AUG and just like they did with the shockwave launcher. They could have did something different, but they chose to mess it up, and I don't know why. The explosive batarang from Chapter 1 with the Batman collab. I do miss this. It was an explosive batarang. You throw it, and if they walk by, then it explodes. It was really, really dope. Great for trap setting. Great for if you had good aim, you could hit somebody. I think it did a bunch of damage. I think it was like 40 or 60 or something like that. But if you had a few of them, I think you could hold a good number of them. You was able to really kind of annihilate somebody. I do miss it personally, so this is my personal one. I'm gonna put it in A tier. It was really, really dope, and I do miss playing with that item. Groots Bramble shield, so that one's always a tongue twister for me. You don't do any damage. You have a roller ball, and you gain health from when you're in it. It's great when you want to have something to heal you, but other than that, getting away, you can jump down from builds, you can break builds. It's okay. It's not the best, so I'm gonna put it in B tier because it doesn't really do any damage. It's more of a utility item than actually like a mythic weapon, I would say. The Silver Surfer's board, I'm definitely gonna put that in A tier. The ability to redeploy your glider without using a jump pad. You can use it every, I think it's 20 seconds, 25 seconds. It's really great to get down from builds. Let's say you're build fighting somebody. You can get down from builds and not have to worry about taking fall damage. Since they did take launch pads out the game. They do have bounce pads in the game, but they took launch pads out. This one is great to get out of a situation, reposition yourself, and get a better stance on a fight or a battle, or just leave completely. Let's say you just want to get away, you just want to abandon it. They're too much of a sweat. this one is the way to get out. So we got Dr. Doom's gauntlets. Oh no, this is the bomb. So the bomb does a ton of damage. It does set builds on fire, including buildings, everything. It's really cool looking. Doesn't do too much damage. I think people would opt to not carry this in lieu of the gauntlets. Some people carry both. I'm gonna put it in B tier for now, because it's not as good as some of the previous mythic weapons, and I think a lot of people would agree with me, especially with the cooldown. I think the cooldown should be shorter on this one, to be honest with you, because if you compare this to something like the Brutus minigun, which did a ton of damage if you're hitting your shots, it has still had a shorter cooldown than this did. So I would say it goes in the B tier personally. I know somebody might put it in the A tier, but I put it in B tier. I don't really like it that much. The gauntlets, I'm gonna put it in the A tier because of the ability to be able to jump every so often. I think it's like every 10 seconds maybe around, so you're able to kind of float up a little bit, right? So that ability is pretty dope. The gauntlet shots themselves, the flame balls that shoot out, so the ability to be able to use these unlimited, and they're only doing, I forget how much, maybe 35 damage or something like that. 25, 20, 30, 35 damage. It's not a lot of damage, and you really have to hit them. You have to have your aim down, you have to shoot them over and over again, and it's not a lot of damage, but the ability to be able to move on top of that is the reason why I'm going to go ahead and put it in the A tier. So that's all I got for you guys right now. If I am missing some of the previous so-called quote-unquote mythic weapons, the ones that come in this bright yellow, goldish, mythic color background, I know I'm missing the Chug Jug, and I know we have future Marvel mythic weapons coming out, but for now, this is all that I have in the current mythic history of Fortnite. So if you guys enjoyed my rankings, if you guys enjoyed where I put this stuff, if you disagree and you would put an item somewhere else, go ahead and leave me down in the comments where you would put it, and I will see you guys next time.